So now we're ready to actually get to the inflationary gap. We had a long introduction there to inflationary gap. And we said that we can we can produce a model of the economy, of the circular flow model of the economy. Remember, you got households and firms, and you got this circular flow model of the economy. And so you've got expenditures of money, and you've got income of money into the households. And so if we have expenditures on this axis, and we have income on this axis, we drew a 45-degree line here that exactly bisects this 90-degree angle. And we drew it that way because if we go out here 5 inches and we go up here and hit this and bounce off at 90 degrees, we know this is going to be exactly 5 inches over here. So this line illustrates all the potential points that income and expenditures are exactly equal. And so that's where the economy will equilibrate. Now in microeconomics, you have the intersection of the demand curve and the supply curve. We call that equilibrium, price and quantity equilibrium. And we use that same sort of terminology and model over here in macroeconomics, only we don't say equilibrium, we say equilibrate. And so equilibrate means this thing where it kind of hovers, kind of stays there. And there's no incentive for the economy to move to higher or lower levels of outcome, expenditures, or income. So we said there is some potential income, and if we bounce off here, that would be potential expenditures. So potential income right here is exactly the same number, dollar number, as potential expenditure right there. There is some potential income level in which everybody who wants a job's got a job. Every factory who wants enough business to be at full capacity, they can do that. That we can bring the whole economy to the point of producing the maximum amount of goods and services that's possible within this economy without any inflation, without prices going up. And we call that line the potential income line. Now I'm drawing it in here assuming that I know it. I'm going to come to that in a second. But if that is the potential income line, then we say we want the economy to equilibrate right where that potential income line intersects our 45-degree line, because the economy will equilibrate someplace on this black 45-degree line. We know it's going to, but where do we want it to? Well, we want it to equilibrate right here on this 45-degree line. But the way I've drawn it here, it's not equilibrating right here. It is actually equilibrating where the consumption function, the aggregate demand, crosses this 45-degree line all the way up here, all the way up there. Now wait a minute. Everybody who wants a job's got a job. All the factories that are producing are already producing. There's no more people that you can hire. They're already hired. There's no more stuff you can buy. It's already spoken for. How did the economy get clear up here? How could we raise this consumption function all the way up there? Well, think about this for a second. Let me draw a scenario here. Let's say that we're back here with this dotted line. I'll put it right through here. Let's say that we're back here at this dotted line where we've got consumer spending and business investment and government and foreign exports. When we export, the money comes in. That creates more demand. And let's say the government says, yep, we're going to hold it right there. We're going to fine-tune the economy. We're measuring it here, and we're right here. The economy is equilibrating. It's cutting through our black line here, a 45-degree line here. It's cutting right where we want it to. We are at potential income, and everybody's making the max amount of money that they can make in this economy, and everybody's probably going to spend that same amount of money. And so, oh, what a wonderful world it will be. Everything's fine, except for the fact, let's just throw some hypothetical event here. Let's just say those foreigners all of a sudden get a taste for uh, American music and American hardwoods and American agricultural products and American-made electronics, if you could imagine something like that. And all of a sudden, they want to just buy stuff. They want to buy American Levi jeans. They want to buy Wranglers. They want to buy American stuff. Now, all of a sudden, we were right here at full employment, but that additional demand moves the curve up. And now the curve is not here anymore. It's all the way up here. Now, how in the world does it get there? Well, there's only so much stuff out there. There's only so many potential people to hire. Well, let's say we're one of these firms, and we're making this product. Let's say it's some electronic switching gear of some sort, and we're at full capacity. Every seat in our assembly line is full. We have orders. The rest of the year, we don't need any more orders. And all of a sudden, we get a call from Brussels, and this foreigner says, "Hey, I've been on the website. I'm looking at your product. I really want your product. I mean, it's better than everybody else's in the world, and we want to buy it." And we have to. I'm sorry. I'm glad you like our product. We like our product too. We think we do a really good job. But you see, I'm already at full capacity, and I've got orders that are going to take me all through the rest of the year. And so, thanks, but I don't say it, but where were you when we needed some orders? But right now, we're just chock full. I mean, we don't need any more orders. And the guy from here said, "But no, you don't understand. I really want your product." And no, you don't understand. I couldn't produce any more products if I wanted to. I'm already running 3 shifts. Well, I can't make any more. Now, how is that person going to get their stuff? Very easy. 3 little words. You understand? I pay more. Oh, what was that again? Yeah, what are you charging for it? Oh, I'm charging $1,000 a piece. Well, I'll pay you $1,500 a piece. What was that? Yeah, I'll pay you $1,500 a piece. 3 magic words. How do you get the stuff you want if he's already in full capacity? I pay more. Oh, so I've got all these orders that are going to be $1,000 a piece, but you want to buy stuff and you're willing to pay $1,500 a piece? Well, then I'm sure we can work out something here. And all of a sudden, you take this order and you put it at the top of the list, and everybody else is going to pay you $1,000 a piece. They get in the bottom part of the list, and all that's fine. But now, how are you gonna take it? I mean, how are you gonna fill all these orders? You're overbooked now. Well, I need more people. How can I get more people? I know I could probably borrow some more tables, and I could probably get people to work extra, maybe 10-hour shifts rather than 8-hour shifts. But where am I going to get the people? Everybody's already employed. That's what we mean. We're fully employed. There aren't any people standing around just looking for a job. Everybody's fully employed. I know what I'll do. I'll follow these. I'll go to the other factories, and there are these people, companies that bring snacks and sandwiches and potato chips and juice and all that sort of stuff when the factories have a 15-minute break or half-hour break or something like that. And they drive up there, and all the employees come out the back door, and you know what I'm talking about, don't you? They go on construction sites, and they go to factories, and since we're being videotaped, I won't give you the common name for them in the trade, but they're honest people. They do good work. And so you follow them around, and you get to go in the gate behind them because you just act like, I'm with them. You know, I'm with the band, so you get to go in there with them. And they come out and say, "Hey, how's it going in there?" "Pretty good." "Are they keeping you pretty busy?" "Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I ask is I've got a company, and we'd make the same thing they'd make in there. But I'm looking for some people to help me down at my plant down there." "Well, I'd love to help you, buddy, but hey, all the extra time I want to work, I can get all the overtime I want with this company right here." "Well, what are they paying you in there?" Well, they're paying me about $18 an hour. Really? I'll pay you 24. What? Yeah, I'll pay you 24. Uh, when? Like now? Yeah, but these guys, they got work the rest of the year. So do I. So, and what? Well, these guys, I can do as much overtime as. So do I. Uh, and we're making the same stuff in your factory I'm making in there? Oh, yeah. And when could I start making this $24 an hour? Right now. Yeah, I can get in the car. Really? Really? Hey, Fred, tell the superintendent there that I got a bellyache. I just was eating something out of this wagon here. It's not going very well. This guy's going to take me home. So he goes from making $18 an hour from 24 hours. How did he get that? He just said 3 magic words. I pay more. Okay, but where's he going to get the extra equipment? He needs more extra equipment if he's going to get the guy. He's got the guy now. He needs extra equipment. So he calls up the equipment manufacturer and says, hey, I need some more of these arbor presses and these things and workstations, all that. And go, hey, buddy, we would love to help you, but you see, we're already booked up. We're running at full capacity. We couldn't produce any more if we wanted to. You don't understand. I really want some more stuff. Well, I'm really telling you, we're already at full capacity. Now, that's what's going to happen next. How's he get what he wants? He says the 3 magic words. I pay more. Oh, you pay more for these things than everybody else? Well, okay. Somebody else is going to have to go to the bottom of the line, and you're going to have to come to the top of the line, and we'll get you your stuff because you pay more. Now, when that happens, does that increase output? Or does that simply mean that the prices of raw materials and the prices of labor go up because just because you pay more, does that create more workers just because you pay more? Does that create more resources just because you pay more? No, it doesn't. But just prices are going up. And when prices are going up, that's called price inflation. So now, what caused this increase in demand that drove prices up and gave us this inflationary gap? Well, in this case, in my scenario, I'm saying, well, consumers are doing their job and business is doing their job and government's doing its job, but those crazy foreigners, all of a sudden, they're just calling up and are asking for more stuff. And that increased from where we were at full employment, the dotted line, and now we're up here in Inflationville. Inflationville. Now, here's where we want to be. You're not supposed to use this kind of language in college, but I'll just do some text messaging language here. You are we're here. You are here. This is where we are on the map. We are in Inflationville. Where do we want to be? We want to be down here in full fine-tuning Employmentville. We're not there. So when we're up here, we have too much demand. We have an overheated economy. And when we have too much demand, Keynes said that's the cause of inflation. You got too much demand. What's the cause of recession and depression? Not enough demand. So it's simply a game of the government helping the economy get just enough demand, but not too much, but not too little. If we have too little demand, we're in recession, Depressionville. If we have too much, well, then we're in Inflationville. Well, right here, we're clearly in Inflationville. We're up here. How are we going to get this line to come back down here? Get down here where it should be. Let's see. The government has 2 tools. It can increase or decrease spending, or it can increase or decrease taxes. So if in this situation, if the economy is already overheated, should the government continue to spend, or should it back off and spend less? Spend less. It's already overheated, so the government should spend less. What should the government do with taxes? Increase taxes or decrease taxes? We want consumers to spend less. How are we going to get them to spend less? You tax them. You take it out of their pocket. Now, watch what's happening here. We are increasing and decreasing taxes, and we are increasing and decreasing spending. Why? What are we doing this for? Do we have taxes so that we can run the government? Are we spending so that we're providing what the economy needs? Or are we spending and taxing in order to control the economy? Ooh. Oh, fiscal policy is all about controlling the economy. It's not, taxes are just one tool to control the economy, just like spending is a tool to control the economy, and that taxes secondarily are to run the government, but as a matter of fact, we don't need taxes to run the government. Now you're thinking like a microeconomist if you think you need taxes to run the government. Let's say that the government wants to spend 100, whatever it is, trillion, billion, whatever, some number. But it only has tax revenues of 60. So it's going to come up short 40. Is it going to shut down operations because it doesn't have enough money to pay its bills? What normally happens when there's not enough money for the government to pay its bills? Does it shut down? No. What does it do? It borrows 40 to make up for the spending that it wants to do. Well, what if it spends 100 and it only has income of 40 and now it needs to borrow 60? Okay, so now you borrow 60 instead of 40. Well, what if it spends 100 and it only has income of 25? Well, then you simply borrow 75. Okay. What if it wants to spend 100 but it only has income of 5? Well, you simply borrow the 95. Ta-da! Oh, here we go. What if it has no income at all? Will it quit spending money? No, it will simply borrow whatever it needs. You see where I'm going with this? Lack of income has never stopped the government from spending money. They simply borrow it. Now, this is where we're going to close, and this is where we're going to pick up with the next module. If we are Inflationville, right, then we're going to have an inflationary gap. And the gap will always be on the PI, on the potential income line. And it will always be between here and here because that is on the potential income line. So there is a gap between where we are and where we want to be, and the distance of that gap is this much, and that's what the government has to bring demand down so it goes back down here to this dotted line again. So what does it do to get rid of inflation? Increase taxes and decrease government spending. We're going to pick up right here in our next tutorial module.